Hari Om. We are studying Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 2, Sankhya Yoga, Sloka 62 and 63.
ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः अथ श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे साङ्ख्ययोगो नाम द्वितीयोऽध्यायः।
After providing the essential attributes of a man with steady wisdom and cautioning how the seeker who relaxes after few years of tapas and feels that senses are under his control and knows that senses affect the perfect meditation to reach the ultimate goal, Sri Krishna Bhagawan now preaches Arjuna the causes for an unsuccessful seeker who is unable to sit in the meditation. The slokas 62 and 63 are very well known and very much necessary for all of us to understand and know the essence of these slokas. These two slokas are also considered to be famous in chapter 2.
श्लोक 62 ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः सङ्गस्तेषूपजायते सङ्गात् सञ्जायते कामः कामात् क्रोधोऽभिजायते
Summary Sloka 62. When a man thinks of objects, attachment for them arises. From attachment, desire is born. From the desire, anger arises.
श्लोक 63 क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृतिविभ्रमः स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशः बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति
Summary Sloka 63. From anger comes delusion. From delusion, loss of memory. From loss of memory, the destruction of the discrimination. From the destruction of discrimination, he perishes. Swami Chinmayananda very beautifully explains the essence of these two slokas in his commentary. So let us start from his commentary. Swami Chinmayananda states that unsuccessful seeker makes a mistake of falling into the trap of senses, and the fallen ones go till they are fully destroyed. He calls it as the quote unquote ladder of the fall. I'm repeating again, ladder of the fall. Bhagavan states that ladder of fall beautifully in the above two slokas. By knowing them, we can try to redeem ourselves after the fall or take precautions from falling from the top. The first step of the fall, the mind of a person seeks pleasures from sense objects and he considers that pleasures is derived from the outside objects. He imagines that these objects in the mind and thinks that they might provide immense happiness to him. He starts contemplating on acquisition of them. He visualizes all details about the object in his mind. He is still meditating on objects and experiences pleasure in his mind. This is what we call it as dhyanam or thinking. Second step of the fall, he is continuously thinking of the object and pleasure that gives to him. He now develops a psychological attraction or attachment towards the object that lead to dependence on it. This is called sangha, is called attachment. Sangha leads to desire to possess the object. The third step of the fall, when more and more thoughts flow in the object, the attachment intensifies and a burning desire for acquiring, possessing, and enjoyment of the objects agitates the mind. Kama, that is desire. Fourth step of the fall, when the intense desire for an object is not fulfilled or obstructed, desire get converted into anger, that is krodha. In this man, anger generates in the mind which is not controlled by buddhi, that is intellect, but anger takes control of the mind. Anger is a power that controls oneself and on others. As mentioned earlier, deep frustration, restlessness, jealousy, impatience can be also considered as krodha. Fifth step of the fall. When buddhi, the intellect, encounters with the intense anger in a man, he becomes deluded with a complete destruction of the intellect. That is moha, is called delusion. He loses the ability to discriminate, viveka, discrimination, right from the wrong. So he loses his ability to discriminate what is right and what is wrong. Intellect normally takes decision based on the memory, but is overpowered by anger and it becomes helpless. Sixth step of the fall. Once the discrimination, an integral part of the intellect to judge right from the wrong, is destroyed, the man will get destroyed. Pranashyanti, that is destruction. He always be attached to sense objects and he is not able to perceive the higher and nobler and the diviner qualities in him as well as the divinity. Let us understand the meaning of sloka 62 and 63 by an example. Assume you were in a mall and have seen the latest model of Apple iPhone. You were very impressed with the latest design and mobile features. You liked it very much despite you having the new version of Samsung mobile phone. You were thinking of the same mobile phone entire weekend. You wanted to have it. Next day, you went to the mall and have discussed all futures, tried them all, and decided to buy it, but postponed it for a day to review your finances for the month. You were sitting in the living room and reviewing the statement of all EMIs and finances to be paid every month the next day. And you were thinking of how to accommodate financing the new iPhone. You were busy juggling finances to suit your desire to acquire iPhone. Despite the financial situation, you still feel you can buy it this month. Assume your son came and asked to clarify a doubt in a maths problem. You asked him to come after 1 hour. Your son persisted and said that he need to do it immediately as he has a lot of homework. You became very angry, shouted and scolded at him, and said that, "Don't you see that I am doing very important work? Get away from here." Now let us analyze the example given with the summary of Sloka 62 and 63. Liking of the iPhone is attraction to iPhone. Want, continuously thinking about it and wanting to buy or wanting to have iPhone is the desire for the object. On review of the financial situation, and if the person cannot get to buy the iPhone and he is disappointed, disheartened, then the anger is generated. As we have seen in this example, after reviewing, probably the man thought that he cannot buy the iPhone, so the anger has generated. And delusion is shouting at the sun, and scolding is loss of discrimination or not able to judge what is right and what is wrong. And this is a very good example on how the genesis of anger, delusion, and loss of discrimination do come when one is attracted to the objects, and the desire of objects keeps in the man and continuously be thinking about that particular object and that particular desire. Swami Nikhilananda states in his discourse that desire is an enemy of the mind. There are six enemies of the mind: kama, that is desire; krodha, anger; lobha, greed; moha, delusion; mada, pride; and matsar, jealousy. He further states that when a desire is not fulfilled, obstructed, man develops anger. Compared to when fulfilled, he may become more greedy or proud. Deep desire for an object leads to deep anger, frustration, impatience, and jealousy. Let us reflect on Sloka 62 and 63, which are the essence of our lives. Many times in our lives, we fell from the ladder and never learned a lesson from those falls. I am sure that you will agree with me that we need to remember those falls and its effect that had on us and our family. Remember, whenever you get an angry, I was told to take a deep breath and contemplate the reason for your anger, frustration, impatience. You will find a reason, and let us all try it. Acharya Prava Ramakrishna Swamiyaji was mentioning in a pravachanam or discourse that let us be angry on anger. Let us try it for a bit. Swami Chinmayananda says that a man without a desire is a dead man. Our desires, our desires should be sattvic, pure, and for a higher goal. But when we live in this world, desire for sensory objects, persons, and place is not uncommon. We need to quickly identify the root cause of attachment and try to control it. It is said that deep attachment leads to intense desire, which takes one to irresistible anger and frustration. Every desire originates from a thought about a sense object in the mind. I was again told that there is a solution for all of us to try. It is about controlling the anger, which we may not be able to prevent it. The method is consciously try to reduce the time of anger in us. Let us say that if you had it for 2 hours, let us try it for about only 1 hour. Let us practice it and note it and continuously practice in a way that it is reduced to almost a negligible time. Hari Om.
ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः